Hello, welcome everyone. In this video, I'm going to derive the derivative of cotangent of x using the derivatives of cosine of x and sine of x. So we know that the cotangent of x is the ratio of cosine of x over sine of x. And we're going to use this relationship and the derivatives of cosine of x and sine of x to derive the derivative of cotangent of x. So let's write this down. So we want to get the derivative d over dx of cotangent of x, that is going to be equal to the derivative of cosine of x over sine of x. Okay, so we take the derivative of this ratio. Now let me write this down. The derivative of sine of x, d over dx of sine of x equals cosine of x, and d over dx of cosine of x equals negative sine of x. Okay, and for the ratio we're going to use the quotient rule. So when we have ratio of two functions, we can apply the quotient rule to take the derivative of this ratio. So that is f prime of u over v equals v times u prime minus u times v prime over v squared. Okay, so u is the numerator and v is the denominator function. And when we take the derivative, so it's numerator times the derivative of the denominator times the derivative of the numerator minus numerator times the derivative of denominator divided by denominator square. So now we can go ahead and plug in this cotangent into this quotient rule. So we get the derivative of cotangent of x equals, so denominator is sine, so it's sine of x, times the derivative of cosine of x minus cosine of x times derivative of sine of x, and everything divided by sine of x squared. Okay, so all I did, plugged in this into the quotient rule right here. Okay, now we get d over dx of cotangent of x equals, let me just write it again, sine of x times d over dx of cosine of x minus cosine of x times d over dx of sine of x, everything divided by sine of x squared. And now we go ahead and take the derivative, so we get sine of x times negative sine of x. Okay, the derivative of cosine of x is negative sine of x minus cosine of x times the derivative of sine of x is cosine of x. So this is the derivative of sine of x, cosine of x, and everything divided by sine of x squared. Now we go ahead and multiply these together. So sine of x times negative sine of x is going to be negative sine of x squared, or sine square x. Similarly, negative cosine of x times cosine of x is going to be cosine square x divided by sine of x squared, or sine square x, which is the same thing. This is equal to negative sine square x minus cosine square x over sine square x. Okay, so this is the same as this right here. Now we have to use another property of trig, that the sine square x plus cosine square x equals 1. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to factor out this negative 1 from here. So we're going to get sine square x plus cosine square x inside. So we factor out negative 1 and we get sine square x plus cosine square x right here, and divided by sine square x. Okay. Now we can apply this property here. So we get negative 1 times 1 divided by sine square x. So this is negative 1 over sine square x. So this is equal to negative cosecant square x. Okay. So the derivative of cotangent of x equals negative cosecant square x. So this is our final answer. So hopefully this helps.